Number one is if you don't know how to play songs confidently, like if you have a little piece here or there, or you're just feeling like you're stuck in a rut, scales are not the thing that you should be practicing. Hey Rockstar, Steve aka VØID here, and today I want to talk about scales. So the other day, one of my students, Greg, he was asking me, Steve, should I be learning scales? And Greg's been playing for quite a few years now, but he's still kind of at the beginner stage. He's been struggling quite a bit. And what I said to Greg was, okay, well, there's sort of three things to consider when it comes to scales. Number one is if you don't know how to play songs confidently, like if you have a little piece here or there, or you're just feeling like you're stuck in a rut, scales are not the thing that you should be practicing. What you should be practicing are songs, because songs are what inspired you to play the guitar, and playing those songs that inspired you is just going to make the guitar a really enjoyable experience. So scales are not what you need to be learning. Songs have everything you need. Now, if you know how to play a list of songs that you are happy with, then I'd say scales are optional. Greg said that he liked the way that scales felt on his hands, so there's more of a physical thing because he has arthritis, and so scales from more of a physical standpoint, incorporating all the fingers, I would say, okay, scales are optional. I still think that you can find some riffs that you love, and I'm always about the music. So, but I said, okay, so here's a cool way to practice scales. When you practice a scale, don't just practice it with only your guitar, where you play a C major scale, do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Like, you don't want to just practice that. What you want to do is, if you're practicing a C major scale, or an A minor scale, let's say, play a song that's in the same key, because what that's going to do is that's going to allow for it to be musical, and it's going to give some context to where the notes have relationships with the music that you're hearing. So what I did was I played Beth by Kiss, because that's one of Greg's favorite bands, and I played Beth, and when I played the scale to Beth, all of a sudden, the scale went from being some boring, bland little exercise of like ingredients to now it became music. And if you're curious to find out kind of what I did a little bit more in depth, then click the link below to find out a little bit more about how to play scales in a more interesting way if you are going to choose scales. I will say, as someone who has played scales and also played a bunch of songs, I prefer songs 99% of the time. Okay, if you're going to be really digging deep into music theory, or you want to improve your finger speed from a perspective of where you know a lot of songs, you know a lot of solos, but you really want to refine it to really an elite level, then I'd say scales and exercises, things like that, are probably what you want to look at. But if you're still trying to figure out songs and play your favorite songs, I wouldn't really look at scales, okay? I might get a lot of backlash for that, but I really don't see the importance of scales. Everything that you need is inside the songs that you need to play, and then at some point you can learn scales, but only when there's a list of songs. So you can dive deep into learning that the song is in the key of A minor, but learning a scale, it's just like a bowl full of ingredients with no direction necessarily. So I think that the best way to practice scales, if you are going to practice scales, is to practice in context. Again, if you want to check out the link below, if you want to see the lesson that I had with Greg, it's a pretty short little clip, but you'll be able to see how I played with Beth and all those cool things. Alright, so that is my take on scales. Should you practice scales? Well, it's up to you really in the end, but I feel like if you are still working out songs, then definitely skip the scales, stick with the songs. I'm Steve aka VØID signing off, and I'll see you in the next video.